Hi guys, so today we're looking at chapter 4, length, area and volume. Our learning intention for today is by the end of this lesson you should be able to solve problems involving rectangular solids and prisms. Okay, let's look at a few calculations and a few equations. So a cuboid has a volume of length times breadth times height. The net of a cuboid is the surface area of each side added together. So in this case it would be 2 times length times breadth plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times breadth times height. So you're just finding the area of each side and adding them together. A cube has a volume of length cubed, and the net of a cube is equal to 6 times L squared. So again, you're just finding the area of each side and adding them all together. So that's 6L squared. A prism is a 3D shape that has parallel congruent bases, which are both polygons. A right prism has two bases, one directly above the other. Its faces are rectangles and looks like this. The volume of a prism is given by the length times the base, the area of the base. And the net of a prism is found by finding the surface area of each side and adding them together. Let's look at an example question. This is exercise 4.2, question 3. For the following prism, calculate the volume to the nearest whole number, draw the net of the prism, and hence or otherwise calculate the surface area to two significant figures. So to find the volume of a prism, we need to find the length and the area of the base, because the volume is equal to the length times the area of the base. Okay, so we're told the length in the question. We can see that the length here is 20 centimeters, and we need to find the area of this base. So we can see that our base is a triangle, so we need to find the area of this triangle. So the area of a triangle is given by a half times the base times the height. So I need to find the height of my triangle. All right, so drawing this out, I can see that I have a right angle triangle. So to find this height, we're going to use Pythagoras theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Substituting in what we know, we have 6 squared plus b squared equals 10 squared, 36 plus b squared equals 100, and taking our 100 away gives us b squared equals 100 minus 36. B squared is equal to 64. And then to find b, we square root both sides of our equation, so b is equal to 8. So that means the height of my triangle, my base, is 8. So now I can find the area of my base using my formula for the area of a triangle. That's a half times base times height. So the area of my base is equal to a half times 12 times 8. The area of my base is equal to 48 meters squared. So that's a half times 12. So you can see here my base is 12 times 8 my height, which I just found. That gives me 48 meters squared. And now to find the volume of my prism, it's the length times the area of the base. So that's 20, my length, times 48. Which gives me a volume of 960 meters cubed. Okay, in part B, we're asked to draw the net of a prism. So to draw the net, we just have to unfold the shape and draw it out in 2D. So this is the shape that we would get. Okay, so we can see that we have the two triangles A and B, our base D, and then our sides C and E. And then in part C, we're asked to hence or otherwise calculate the area, surface area, to two significant figures. So to find the surface area now, I'm just going to find the area of each shape that I have in my diagram and add them all together. Okay, so to find the area of A is a triangle, so that's half times the base times the height, which is a half times 12, and we've already found that height, found it in the previous question, that height is 8. So it's a half times 12 times 8, which gives me 48 meters squared. B is the same, so it's the same triangle, half times 12 times 8, which gives me 48. C, okay, so to find the area of its C, it's the length times the width, so that's 10 times 20, which gives me 200. D is length times width again, so that's 20 times 12, which gives me 240. And E is the same as C, 10 times 20, which gives me 200. Okay, so adding these all together, I can find my surface area. So that's 736 meters squared. And we're asked to write it correct to two significant figures. So I keep my first two values and I read my third value to see whether I round up or round down. It's greater than 5, so I round up. This gives me a surface area of 740 meters squared. Okay, please pause and take down this example. Let's try another question. Question 6. A cuboid has a base of 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Water is poured into the cuboid to a depth of 12 centimeters. Another 2 liters of water is poured into the container. Calculate the rise in the height of the water in centimeters. Okay, so I want the rise in the height. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw out what I have, so it'll make it easier to see what formulas I'm going to use, what I need to find. Okay, so I have this cuboid. It has a base of 30 times 20. The depth so far is 12 centimeters. And then I'm adding on water to it, which has an extra height of h that I don't know. All right, I am told that 2 liters of water, so the volume of the blue area here, the volume of this blue area is equal to 2 liters. So I'm going to convert my liters. I need to convert my liters into centimeters cubed. Now you need to know that the volume of 1 liter is equal to a volume of 1,000 centimeters cubed. Therefore, the volume of 2 liters would be equal to 2,000 centimeters cubed. So I have the volume of this blue area as 2,000 centimeters cubed, and I want to find the height. Okay, so we're looking for our unknown dimension of this blue cuboid, h. First thing we're going to do here is write down what we know. So we know that the volume of this blue area is equal to 2,000. We now substitute our volume for a formula for the volume of a cuboid. That gives us length times breadth times height equals 2,000. Substituting in the values that we know, we have 30 times 20, because we can see that our length and our breadth is 30 and 20, and times height, the h, which I don't know yet. Okay, so I want to find h. I'm going to multiply out, expand this equation. So 30 times 20 gives me 600, times h equals 2,000. I now want to find h, my height, so I'm going to divide by 600. I have h equal to 2,000 over 600, which gives me h, my height, of 3.33 centimeters. So the rise in the water has risen by 3.33 centimeters. So when you're dealing with area and volume questions, do draw out the shape and try and figure out what formula you're going to use. So do you have the volume of a cuboid? Do you have the volume of a prism? Once you have your shape, write down the formula, substitute in the values that you have, and solve for an unknown.